Welcome back to the Spit Out. I'm Jefferson. Alongside me, as always, the one with all the holes in his game, Swiss Cheese, and we're the disc golf world. We're going to be talking about USWDGC, the trophy, and our tournament this past weekend. How you doing?
Great, man.
Yeah.
Good times.
A lot of disc golf this past weekend. 90 degrees. We ran, like I said, ran our first ever event. Didn't know what to expect. I was out there at USWDGC. A lot of things going on. I think we want to just hop into the event. It was a major after all.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go on. Well, it kind of felt a little lackluster. I'm not gonna lie.
The ending, you think?
It was a little bit of the ending. I think there was like a lot of like just some poor like performances that kind of was like a little jarring at times. Like you let out with such a bad feature card. You had some poor putting for performances and stuff like that, and it was just like, it wasn't like the last probably almost 4 or 5 wins we've seen come out of the FPO as of late. It just felt a little different.
Why do you think that was? The courses?
I think it was the courses. I think the Heat had to play it on the win.
True.
Yeah, like I think that had a lot to play. Absolutely. They're tough. You know what I mean? I've played Roland Ridge. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Heading to the final round, we had Hannah on top, Emily Weatherman, Hailey King, and Evelina. Going into that round, who did you think was going to win? Or who did you have your hopes for?
Man, I said before the tournament, I think I even put it in our Slack chat, and I was like, guys, I think Hailey King is going to podium, and I think she has a hell of a chance to win.
Makes sense. She's local.
Dude, that's local. Won a major there, everything, and she's fresh. You know what I mean? I kind of felt she was going to make a statement. I really do think she did. And she just had one bad putting day from being the champ, in all honesty, winning convincingly. Had she she missed 7 putts on day 3.
Yeah, it's
from inside the circle. Yeah,
like
from
Hailey
King.
King.
No. But yeah, so I kind of thought that she was going to take it. But I really did feel like Weatherman was going to falter just because it was her first lead card of a major.
It's a tough situation of being on the same card of past winners.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of expected a little bit of the same out of Hannah. And so I wasn't surprised by kind of what happened to them on the final day.
Yeah, going into it, I was there for the final day, so it was cool to watch it in person. Just something about it and Evelina's demeanor walking up, it felt like she is championship level. She's reached that next level. We haven't seen her in the past. I can't remember the last time she's played an event, but I know the talk around social media was, what are we going to see out of Evelina and Hannah specifically out of the European group? And I think that Evelina, maybe not out the gate, was the most dominating, but I think over the course of the tournament, you could see the skills of, hey, she's the top.
Dude, she is
best off the tee.
Hands down, the best off the tee.
I think it was like 35 strokes gained from whatever. If she was just an average putter,
that is awfully inflated, though. Those are like USWD.
You're right. The field is a lot deeper. That is true.
So, but even so, she's hands down the best off the tee, and I'm not forgetting Kristin, guys.
Do you think anything of the toe injury and the sickness I know she alluded to on social media after the event?
We've seen it before in person, when Kristin is off or things aren't going right, she kind of checks out. And she is such a big mental game player. Every aspect she brings it up. So maybe she understands it's such a big deal, and that's why. So when something's off and the toe is a heck of a thing to deal with over 4 days. Again, the heat, all of it. Yeah, I could, especially after that, man. It's hard to come back after that day 1 too. You know what I mean? And even if it was 1 down, but that whole round on that card was just an energy drain from it. So I'm not surprised. She's got time to heal up, and I think she will attack, hopefully, the Worlds and European Festival. But this is kind of I know she took second, I believe, at Champions Cup, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, of course, she had the streak. Mm-hmm. She's only took first or second. But anyways, she didn't she had to have a comeback. She had another poor round. Didn't feel the same Kristin at a major, so to speak. And we haven't seen that in a little bit, in all honesty. Even her last win, it was I know it was a huge comeback. It was I think a record-setting comeback, but you can't have the narrative of Silva gave things away, right? And then be Chris, that was a great performance by Kristin. Like you can't have both of those. You know what I mean?
Contradict each
Yeah.
other.
So like if everyone's gonna say this, you can't as great of a performance it is. Like so, in a way, you could say, hey, like we can't say like Silva didn't somewhat contribute to that or whatnot. So, but anyways, yeah, I think she's got to man, and the pressure of the worlds in Europe, like she's got to feel it, like, and she's gonna, and that. Like it's one of those where it's with Kristin. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if she just does it and just steamrolls, and I wouldn't be surprised if she has like another kind of like similar performance to this one.
Do you think Kristin's still the favorite to win Worlds?
Yes. Yeah. Betting favorite for sure, but yes, absolutely. Like
Is she the one you're picking still?
Yes. Yeah.
Wasn't this the year to say she's going to win a Grand Slam?
I did. I started off that real early. I thought it was a contract year, man. What is it going to do? Yeah.
That's funny.
Then that boat sailed.
What do you expect after Hailey King? Now, I don't think she's playing an event until Ledgestone.
I know. That's such a bummer. It really is. I think Hailey King was already taking like a little bit of a shortened tour before, like when she was sponsored. I think that is kind of a money spot to her where she can kind of get in there. Her play is deserving enough of a sponsor. I thought her performance, on the course, I thought her post-round interview, everything about her demeanor at that event was, for the most part, well done. And she pushed almost for a second major. That's what I was kind of rooting for. I wanted so bad the open bag win a major. Like, I really did. Because, man, I know Hailey would have also said something in the interview. Like, it would have had to have been a question, right? Terry would have had been forced to bring it up. And like, it would have been, I just wanted to see the answer in that moment.
I was wondering to see if she won because usually you get something significant, like a signature disc after a major win. And I was curious if some company would step up and do some limited run for Hailey. If it would be, I honestly only Discraft, I feel like would be the people willing to do it. But if her relationships were cool with them to make a little side cash, help out. That's what Discraft does. They help out disc golfers. So I wouldn't be surprised. But we're not going to see that. Hopefully we see, maybe like the Destroyer will say one-time world champ, one-time USWDGC champ. I don't know. But the main topic from the weekend, I actually wouldn't even say that. Just the last day. And everyone wanted to just pile on the trophy talk, the dick talk,
the dick,
the schlong. I think it's pretty unanimous, guys. It looks like a dick. If you want to keep saying it doesn't look like a dick, you are one of like the 5 people saying that.
That dick looked like it was holding Gandalf's wizard staff. Like that was that big of a dick.
It was huge. It was just
that thing was jealous. Wild. It was like the tie dye didn't help. It made it look like veiny and bulbous at points, and like it's just.
Now I will say we received some information. And I don't know what to think of it quite yet. I have to do digging. This was today, so I haven't really done my research. However, there was a theory, I'll say, put out there that maybe
we're going to call it a theory.
I don't know what it is. That maybe this was intentional.
Okay.
Or it was like an inside joke that they were supposed to be dick-like. I don't know how to say it right. But I don't even know. And I'm just saying, I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I just think that lighthouses, they kind of are penis shaped.
All right, let's take the hypothetical. Would you be like, okay, would those trophies be more like passable if you knew there was like an inside joke about it? Like where like, yeah, we know it kind of looks like that. Like would you be a little bit more like, it's okay that they kind of have those trophies? It'd be interesting what the public would think. Like I would love to do like a straw poll and get like a huge, like actual people and be like, hey guys, if you knew this was an inside joke and like only you knew it, would you kind of dig the trophies were that? Like I kind of might have respected it. So yeah, I did read this theory / investigative,
whatever you want to call it,
proposal. Yeah. So essentially, I don't think it was necessarily on purpose. I think like when you look at that, you had a concept, you see it, and you can't help but think it. And so like, if there was like jokes and stuff like that, it was no different than the viewers. Do I think like there was like a grand statement using the phallic trophy? No, I don't.
Yeah.
I think so. I think they went for it. I think they kind of resembled it, and it was that. Dude, there's a little like even the other divisions kind of like resembled butt plugs. That's like,
It's just
like
the
if people
shape of
want it,
things,
like
guys.
yeah,
You're got dirty mind.
yeah, they looked like stubby though. It's kind of out there. Like, I don't know how to explain it. You got to see it. Like the FPO was like full. You needed two handle. You needed to double handle that fucking thing. But the other one was like,
well,
yeah,
tiny action.
yeah. And I was like, why did it? Yeah.
I was like, the other evidence that was suggesting that there were people talking about this and laughing about it looking like a dick. Well, I think that just kind of is what happens.
Yeah. Like,
right. Like we're back to high school. Like I get it. It's immature to laugh at this stuff, but at the end of the day, that's. I mean, I make dick jokes on videos all the time.
I will also say, like, a lot of people are using like Evelina laughing while holding it as like if she's laughing at the trophy. Like at first it was Evelina like laughs all the time.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, she's just in the moment of celebrating. But maybe it did cross her mind. It's hard not to. Like, and that's the ultimate. But like it is kind of dumb to like make this out to be something like so much larger of like somebody needs to be fired or this needs to happen or like guys, it was a trophy that missed. We get to make fun of it.
Whole goal was you guys talking because it did that.
Yeah, it did work, right? Like, and it's yeah, that could be a possibility, but like it's also like in the grand scheme of things, like it's not like it's a meme. It hasn't gone viral. Like we're all right, guys. Like it's a trophy. I get it. Does it fucking look stupid? Absolutely. Like I can't debate that.
They
like,
tried at least.
Yeah,
man.
but like hey,
They did their best.
live and learn next year.
Don't
Next year, man, just go buy one, guys. Like, let's just like I understand like the home ec of it. Like, hey, we're gonna like do a classroom project type thing and like kind of make this unique and like I can kind of respect that and I like dig the concept, but like, you know, just go buy something.
Just go.
Or like you're like the PDGA. Why not have like a Stanley Cup where you got everybody's name on it and like part of it is your name gets put on it and like it travels. Like, why not just do something like that? And then go ahead and give them a ribbon or something. I don't like.
No, you can't do a ribbon.
Okay,
You can't treat them like
a
that.
medal
dude.
or like a
No,
whatever.
It's worse.
All right, just not that.
Just not a dick.
Yeah.
So I do have a few things I would like to point out from being at the event, and I know in our short little video when I say that my quote unquote complaints, that is me just kind of like shit talking when that's not necessarily the point of them. It's just my expressing my experience. And when I talk about the viewing, I understand when you go to, I was at Super Silver, it's a wooded course. So a lot of times you're shoved in with hundreds of, I can't estimate people, I'm going to say hundreds of people were in there. It's hard to see if you're not in the front row. And then you have the camera people, you have the DGPTs, the caddies, everyone, stuff, small space. It's hard to see. So, and there's not a whole lot to do for like specific courses. Sometimes it's just what it is. Like Northwood Black, that's just what it's going to be like. And I understand the perspective of, how is this good for the spectating side of the sport? And that's why I tried to, at least in the video, maybe I didn't do the good job at it of just generalizing it. I wasn't like nitpicking USWDGC, but I was saying, hey, for our sport, and I don't know how much money comes in directly from spectator based on DGN and post coverage, stuff like that, and sponsorships. But if spectating is a priority, I feel like that is something that needs to be addressed. And if we put disc golf courses that are starting to be more made specifically for disc golf, that needs to be a design aspect. Sure. So I think it can be done. Yes. I think you can take a very wooded property and create and navigate the holes and still make room for spectating.
Yes.
Just hasn't been done yet.
No, I think New London did a pretty decent job of that with like some bleacher spots and like, you know what I mean? You at least could like catch the putting or the disc coming in.
I think that's important, the action points and how many they can cross over. Even if there is a small walking back and forth, that's okay. But
and if you can only fit two, you put them on there. Like, just because it's like, hey, does it make sense to put a bleacher back here? Yeah, it does. No matter what, the answer is yes. Like, go ahead and do it. The problem is, like, and I'm not trying to like be elitist about this anyway. Like, you and I talk differently, like as far as viewing these events because we've seen a number of them, right? Like, and this is like these are what you said in that is just our everyday conversations when we like are attending any event on the tour where it's like, hey, what about this? What could have been done better? Like, you can't help but like the luster of like this being new and exciting is kind of worn off on us, and so now it's like down to the nitty gritty of like, hey, they could have done.
Yeah, every time I look back at it, it's okay. What could they have done better to maybe improve the experience for someone out there to want to come back each and every other time?
We did it on our own tournament. Like this is what we do. This is what we did on our own. We've been talking about the one that we held. Hey, what we could have done this. We should have done this. We like, you know what I mean? Like that's just part of the game. You always improve.
Now I will say Broderick left a comment on the video because I made a point of when I was there, I saw plenty of little children, girls specifically, because it was their rounds were over, because that is what the good thing about this event is you bring in all divisions.
Yeah.
So a lot of them come watch the final card.
Yeah.
And you see so many people behind them, behind middle-aged men, where it's like, hey, can we just like get them in front because they're at like their waist.
Yeah.
He did say that on day one that there was more emphasis on PDGA staff, I believe he said, or someone on the worker was making that happen. But I think that would be a cool next step if we can get that even at DGPT events. If, hey, you know,
just get
buy this sort of ticket. This is your tour guide. We're gonna like take the kids. We're gonna explain everything, and maybe they can take this experience away and go tell all their friends.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But I like that.
That's like the next generation of things, because yes, we have the main demographic of disc golfers is older, at least, especially the people that consume our content. So it's trying to find that unique way to get the kids to like it. To them,
USDGC does that. They have like the local schools come out the first day, and they kind of have like a little tour, and they got
just leave that impression on them. I think it goes
especially
a long way.
man, if you're gonna do it at anywhere, USW is the place to do it.
Especially if you're trying to grow the women's side of the sport. That's just an emphasis on things. That's the perfect way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Already invested little girls that want to do it. It's perfect.
Yeah, man. Like make it. You got to be like. We always say like the FPO is the most accessible division. Like when you're spectating, like as far as getting as close to the action on any ticket, let alone VIP ticket. Like you're gonna get for the most part, most cards you're gonna get fairly close. Granted. Sometimes with Lead, Kristin, those are going to be different. Understood.
Yeah, but you go to the lower cards, the appreciation of coming out to watch too.
Dude, absolutely. Yeah, and like they make it special. They'll accommodate you. Like man, they're even cognizant of like you're standing there. I'm not going to stand in front of you. Like even the players are doing that, and like use that accessibility to promote the FPO game. You know what I mean? And the players, it can't just all be on the players and selling it and what they're doing in Facebook or fan interact. You can't put it all on that. You got to make it easier on the players at times, and that's by bringing them close into the action. That's by also opening things up and doing other activities where you're involved too.
The other takeaway I had from being at the event was we're still every time announcing turn off phones, turn off data coverage. And I understand it from the point of you need to do that to make sure there's no like less pixelated stuff. But also at the same time, it is a part of the viewing experience as a fan. Knowing that there's two cards right now where if Kristin was going to pop off, if I was told I can't use my phone to see that on PDGA Live, I might be pissed. I might want to jump over to see that. I might just want to be more invested into what's going on. Or if I go to watch Kristin's card, how am I supposed to know what's going on with the lead card?
Dude, it's not, and it's also not that. Like, wow. What if I want to tweet about who just hit the most amazing shot I've ever seen? The funny thing is that, man, I fell down, of course, Reddit hole. I was lonely one night, and it was, dude, I got like a weird education of like the pixelation and like they've switched some type of, I don't know the titles, but they switched. The guy was saying like, hey, I think they switched some type of service, and basically what he was saying is, the buffering of one, you have less like breaks, but you have overall poorer quality. While this one, you'll have the best quality of video, but you'll have more interruptions and pixelation.
That makes a lot of sense.
So like they said they think they dropped to this tier where it's not as good a quality overall. I was like, I didn't know any of that, but so I appreciate it, and I don't know if I necessarily noticed it because it's my first year watching it. It's also part of it, but it's interesting. Like it's a weird quandary that we're in, but yeah, you got to get something. We got to kind of solve it, and I don't know if it's as easy as a lot of people think it is, and I don't know how to go about it, but yeah, it's going to continue to be a problem.
That was USWDGC. Yeah. Overall, it was a good event. No real controversy, drama, or anything like that. It was pretty much just the Dick Trophy. That was
just such a man. I enjoyed it. I have like USDGCs have always been very enjoyable, so I've always enjoyed watching them. But yeah,
The other big event that went down this weekend was the Minnesota Majestic. It is now a part of the Go Throw Tour, which is also interesting because it's still sanctioned. It's a 3-round event.
Ooh.
And the Go Throw guys, I believe, were at USWDGC filming. I know someone else filmed, I think Birdie Productions, who's on tour right now. He filmed a like Harry Chase shot-by-shot thing.
Oh, cool.
Where he commentates and goes over his shots. So that was interesting. But as of right now, there is no Majestic coverage, which is unfortunate because it seemed like it had a really good finish. And it's one of my favorite tournaments that I actually enjoy watching because BRP is one of the first destination courses that I ever played. So I always do appreciate going and watch the whatever 20-something hole layout.
Yeah. I love, yeah. Because they also got some of those weird holes and you just enjoy seeing pros like, no, let's, how are we going to play that, whatever,
And
that
what
short one? I can't think of what number it is, but that short where it goes like right angled. Like,
Yeah, where it's,
and they're trying to go over the top and plinko down. Like, yeah. No, the Majestic's awesome. They usually always get like a very good, some decent name turnouts.
yeah, a lot of them have that week off. So.
Yeah, so it attracts them a lot of times.
Joe Revere led the tournament most of the way too, so I wanted to see that. And then the amazing comeback from Austin Turner going to a playoff, taking down.
Man, I miss seeing Joe Revere on coverage randomly. There's nothing better when like he was taking down events and everyone's like, who's this Joe Revere guy? And the people in the know were like, dude, this dude's pretty
balls
sick.
out in this area.
Same with like early Proctor, like before he was really traveling much. And I was like, yeah, guys, he's sick. Like Majestic's clean, great tournament, great, even better course. Absolutely. They always have the ace on the 18, right?
That's for their league. The
Oh,
pay
is that for
one,
the league?
the bounty
Okay.
one, it was like up to $2,000 or something.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah, someday someone will hit it.
I think somebody did. Didn't a pro once get paid?
I think Gannon did one time.
Yeah,
That was like his first official ace, I want to say.
Yeah.
Not too
Okay.
sure on that one, but
That's pretty weird to say that. That's never ace, but whatever.
yeah, that was like his thing for like the longest time, never getting a legit ace, and he was like, winning pro tour events. The other big tournament that went down this weekend was the Black Lung First Available, presented by the Disc Golf World, and we actually did have a touring professional in our division, so that makes us a pretty fucking big deal.
Pretty fucking huge
Right.
deal, I would say.
Gavin Phillips and his dad actually playing and taking down the event, so it felt
Yeah.
like just us giving a $500 donation to a touring pro, which hey, I will take.
Yeah. to all the locals, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I would
Oh,
take
yeah.
that. But even so, like, how cool is it to say, like, that the course that we played on was the one that I discovered the game on, so it was kind of neat to like play it, allow a pro to play it, and like get some local people to actually play alongside a pro. Like, man, the guys who are on lead card, how are they not gonna like tell their next league or putting league and be like, dude, I played with Kevin Phillips and I was only a stroke off.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
It was
And
cool.
so,
The whole event, it was an experience. We've never run something like this. We said we were going to, I think April was, or maybe even a little before that, was when we decided we were going to full on do something. We had a date in mind, and we had, which I think was something we're more proud of, is we're giving back to our local community in ways of obviously the player pack. It wasn't a cheap tournament. $120 team, $60 a person, but you're walking away with one of these shirts that has the tournament logo on it, a mug, a drive bag, which was donated, a gateway disc that was donated. So huge shout out to those guys for absolutely plugging that up. And then along with that, the pros got to play for $500 cash, and then other up to top fives got paid. But the amateur division got to play for 36 CTPs, along with plenty of other prizes.
Ace pots.
Literally,
Guy
if
got
you-
$100 in the
for
ace.
Ace. Yeah, shout out Hetty Cup Coffee for that one.
Yep.
And then basically, if anyone didn't walk away with something, that was on them. If you wanted to walk away with a prize or something, you did. So very much appreciate every single person that was donated.
Broderick coming in also.
Yeah,
was
Broderick, you guys know him.
insane.
Shout out for
Yeah.
coming. And then even making a wild comeback, they had a nasty spit out on a crazy eagle that would have had him in that weird place tie for cash.
Man, they did not. The round that they needed to score was a little rough for them.
The whites, yeah. I don't think they practiced that necessarily, and then it's a lot shorter than
Yeah, this is true. But yeah, to show out, turn out, the dude brought a gallery.
Okay, someone drive over an hour away to
That's
watch.
crazy,
That is
man.
cool.
It was awesome, and yeah, it was cool though. I actually like meet another content creator, kind of have conversations, and like, hey man, Broderick's good people. Vibed completely with the dude. I was kind of like,
That was the first time we ever met.
yeah, I wasn't shocked. I kind of always thought like, hey, if we got in a room alone, these guys, this way would be cool. But like, you just never know sometimes. So, but yeah, it was great. The beer was awesome. The collab was great. Adrian and the team did it. There will be another one. It's just a matter of when.
Next year, not this year.
No,
It's not happening this year.
this year. Sorry, guys.
We need a lot of time more planning
Yeah.
now and stuff.
And there's some things we could work on. There's things we can get better, and hopefully we can do it better. But that's the plan. Kind of a lot of the connections that we made on tour to kind of help use them to kind of help our local side and promote it. And I think it was neat. I think we did a great job. I think the swag was awesome.
The coverage was on Disc Golf World. That's something I want to do moving forward.
Yeah.
I think my goal for next year is I want to run like a 3 tournament thing,
Nice,
championship
3.
for 4th, and then every once we'll have a beer collab. We get the beer. They get like
So you're saying
Epic
like
Deli.
4 stops?
Yeah,
Oh man, you're going like super big.
one a month. So it'd be like June, July, August, championship in September. Invite only based on your placements. That's the goal. Who fuck knows what's gonna happen?
This one was pretty hard.
Nah, it was chill.
Yeah, it was definitely chill. It was just like, I think it was the stress of not knowing. And
Yeah,
then,
now we
like,
know what to do. We know
now
what we're gonna improve upon. We have more connections. We'll hook up the homies to hopefully make the thing even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
It was good times, man. And like, it was cool to do. It's also like one of those like weird checklists, right? Like, ran a tournament. Fuck you.
Yeah, that is true.
Got a beer collab. Fuck you.
That's why it's like bigger and better every year, baby. Never stop.
Yeah, it's like just one of those. It's like one of those things that we'll like look back and we're like, yeah, man, we did that, right? That was pretty wild.
yeah.
So that was kind
Although
of
hopefully now that we have a Touring Pro as the reigning champ, that's someone you guys are gonna have to go and step up.
yeah.
Gavin, you're gonna have to defend. We'll figure out a good time to place
He's
the
all the
tournament.
partner.
Yeah, oh yeah, come on now. I will say they used the dad's drives a couple of times,
Nice.
but they would also usually be followed up by like a 60, 70 foot putt. I'm like, oh shit, all right, Gavin. Clutch. Teamwork, baby.
Nah, man, that Gavin's
Next up,
underrated.
baby. The hair.
Yeah,
You
Gavin's
guys
a
will see
little.
him by the hair.
Gavin is, if you ask me, a little too slept on in our sport too. And I think he's actually had like a semi breakout with the 2 ace performance and everything along those lines. But yeah, him showing up and the dad, love it. Good
Yeah.
people, man, great people.
And that's gonna wrap up this episode of the Spit Out. Wasn't a whole lot
No,
this
that's
weekend, but it was a chill week, hot week actually, super hot. But did our thing. Make sure to go check out the yesterday's recap of it all. We get to see our coverage. You get to see the recap of the USWDGC, all the great stuff. Make sure to tune back in next week. I don't know how to end this. See you next one. Thanks, guys.